Welcome back, everyone. We are about to start some Irish music. It's one of my other favorite lessons to teach. I feel like I say that every week, but I enjoy teaching Irish music. You should have just finished your welcome song, and now we are going to do our brain break. So go ahead and stand up. If you have brothers and sisters and you want to do this with them or family members, you totally can. Otherwise, you can just pretend. All right. Very good job. Uh-oh, sorry. Had some echoing in there. I apologize. Go ahead and have a seat. We're going to do some rhythms here in just a second. So I want you to breathe in through your nose, out through your mouth. In through your nose, out through your mouth. Put your hand over your heart. If you can feel it beating, that means that you have a way too fast, either not steady beat and it's just all over the place, or it could be a fast, steady beat. But I want your heart rate to be a slow, steady beat or not be able to feel it at all. That means your heart is at a nice resting rhythm. So breathe in one more time through your nose and out through your mouth. Good job. All right, so we're going to do some rhythms today. We've got some TTs and tas and shushes. So I hope you enjoy. All right, good job. And I know there weren't tas and TTs written out, but that's okay because eventually you're not going to need those tas and TTs. You know what a TT looks like and a ta looks like and a shush. So very good. Uh-oh, I went too far. All right, so your learning targets for today, you'll be able to say, I can recall information about our composer of the week named Bill Whelan. I can explain the sound of traditional Irish music. I can identify some traditional Irish instruments. I can keep a steady beat and can follow along with the dance moves we learned today. I can sing the Irish song with the correct diction, and I can make connections to the book if we make it to the end. And I left that out because I wasn't sure if we would make it to that. And as always, if not, I will post it as the book of the week on our page. All right, so this is our composer, Bill Whelan. He was born May 22nd, which is kind of cool because that is also my birthday, but I was not born in 1950. He is older than I am, but he was born May 22nd, 1950 in Limerick, Ireland, and he is still alive. So we're going to take a little mini field trip to Limerick, Ireland, so you can see what that looks like. So here we go. Here is Limerick, Ireland. All right, and let's see what it looks like there. That's beautiful. It looks like there's a lot of water. Church. Oh, look at that. The beautiful bridge and architecture and castles. There's castles in Ireland. Cathedrals, beautiful churches, cathedrals. Looks like they've got some horses. Look at that beautiful cathedral. I'm not sure what that's a statue to. Again, more pictures of the cathedrals and the churches and a park. We have parks. Okay, I'm guessing that is some other kind of church building. It's beautiful. Look, some food. That looks delicious. I would eat all of that. Another castle or a cathedral. Look at how beautiful. Look at that, the castle with the flag. Absolutely beautiful. There's a castle, old castle. All right. Oh, there's our horses again. Inside of a cathedral. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? That's a beautiful church. And there's our food with some olives. I love olives. Maybe you don't. Looks like some chickpeas or garbanzo beans. Those are so good. All right, so that's some pictures of Limerick. And that is where our composer's from, because he's from Ireland, you know, where they say, top of the morning to you, me laddies. So there is all of Ireland right here. And our composer lives in Limerick. Okay, and remember, we've had some composers that lived in the United Kingdom, in Britain, England, here. So Limerick is not far from it at all. Ireland is really close. And here's where we live. And here's where they live. So it's not super far. See, we could take an airplane right over there. Okay, that's really quite cool. All right, so he is an Irish composer and a musician. His instrument is the piano, so he is called a pianist. And again, composers make music for musicians. That's what they do. So he has written music for film. That means he writes movie music. I think that is so cool. And orchestra music and traditional Irish music, and we'll look at some of that today. But he is best known for river dance. And we're going to learn about river dance today, which is so cool. I wish I could do it as good as the people that we're going to watch. So we're going to watch a video. I do need to skip. This is one of his pieces that he wrote, and it is a river dance song. Let me skip. All right, here we go. would keep playing it. And I know you're saying, Miss Kaiser, come on. But we have so many things we have to get to today and more of that. So I just wanted to show you our composer who writes river dance music. And river dance, you saw him, it's kind of like tap dance. We'll learn about it later, but hopefully that kind of sounds Irish to you, and we'll learn what Irish sound is. But it usually has, you saw the man playing, it was a bagpipe, and the woman, she was playing a violin or fiddle, and that's and also a tin whistle. Those are like, when you think Irish music, those are the main instruments that you're going to think about. So get used to seeing those and hearing those today. All right, so we're going to learn a song today, and it is called 1, 2, 3, Me Mother Caught a Flea. I absolutely love this song. It's adorable. So I'm going to teach it to you, but we have to sing it in an accent, okay? So you're going to repeat after me. My turn first. 1, 2, 3. Can you do that with me? Ready? Go. 1, 2, 3. Very good. Now it's my turn. Me mother caught a flea. Can you do that? Just like me, almost like you're a pirate and an Englishman put together. So you're going to go, me mother caught a flea. Can you do that? Ready, go. Me mother caught a flea. All right, so I want you to take your fingers and count with me. 1, 2, 3. Can you do that? Ready, go. 1, 2, 3. Now you're going to sing, me mother caught a flea. Good job. Now you're going to sing, she put it in the teapot. Do you have a teapot at your house? You set it on the stove, or it's a kettle, and you heat it up, and when it heats up, it whistles. I love making tea out of a teapot. I like hearing the whistle. So you're going to say, she put it in the teapot. Can you sing that? Ready, go. She put it in the teapot. And then I want you to pretend you're holding your own cup of tea, and you're going to say, and made a cup of tea. Can you do that? Ready, go. And made a cup of tea. All right, let's start from the beginning and we'll do it together. Ready? Get your counting fingers ready. 1, 2, 3. Me mother caught a flea. She put it in the teapot and made a cup of tea. All right, so let's add some more motions. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3 with our fingers, and then I want you to pretend you're catching something, like you're catching a ball. You're going to catch a flea with your hands. You're going to bring your hands together. So you're going to count with your fingers 1, 2, 3, and then when you say, me mother caught a flea, you're going to clap your hands together like you caught the flea. Then you're going to put it in a teapot. So you'll pretend you have a teapot and put your imaginary flea in there. And then at the end, you're going to make a cup of tea and hold up your imaginary teacup. All right, so let's sing with our movements. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Me mother caught a flea. She put it in the teapot and made a cup of tea. Very good. Now here's the fun part. The flea is going to jump out. So I want you to jump when you sing this. You're going to sing, the flea jumped out, and you're going to jump right when you say jump. Ready? The flea jumped out. Then you're going to say, me mother gave a shout. And when you say shout, I want you to throw your hands up in the air like something scared you. You're going to go, me mother gave a shout, and your hands up in the air. So let's practice that from the flea jumped out. And remember, you're going to jump when you say jumped out. The flea jumped out. Me mother gave a shout. All right, and then you're going to pretend like you're running. You can run in place and say, and in came daddy, like he's running. And then with his shirt hanging out. So I want you to just kind of whirl your hands around. Have you ever been so scared you heard somebody yelling because there was like a mouse in the kitchen or something, and you came running around the corner and you were just tripping over stuff and falling over things? That's the daddy. He heard the mother give a shout and he came running, tripping over things and falling over. Okay? All right, let's see if we can sing the second part. Don't forget our movements. Ready? The flea jumped out. Me mother gave a shout. And in came daddy with his shirt hanging out. All right, so now we're going to sing the whole song. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3. Me mother caught a flea. She put it in the teapot and made a cup of tea. The flea jumped out. Me mother gave a shout. And in came daddy with his shirt hanging out. Very good. So I want to show you a cute little guy, or did they remove it? Let's see. Here's this cute little guy, and he is going to do the same song for you. He's just adorable. You can sing with him.
Okay. Do Mama caught a flea. And you go.
1, 2, 3. The mother caught a flea. She put it in the teapot and made a cup of tea. The flea jumped out. The mother came south, and then Johnny came with the sun hanging out.
Yay!
Yay! Okay, so you should have been able to do that just like him. And here's a cute picture of the flea in the teapot, and he jumps out. So you can sing that today. You can sing it with your family. That's a fun song to sing, and it's an Irish song. And I hope you enjoy it. All right, so today we're going to learn about some instruments. Okay, and we won't learn about all of these today, but we'll learn about some of them. But these are some traditional Irish instruments. So our first instrument is the hurdy-gurdy. Can you say hurdy-gurdy? Hurdy-gurdy. That's a funny word to say. I like the hurdy-gurdy. It's kind of like a violin and a guitar and a piano put together. So there she is holding it. You'll see in her hand she's going to be cranking it to make the sound, and then she has buttons that she pushes down that pushes on the strings to make a sound. It's a very interesting instrument. All right, so we're going to listen to some hurdy-gurdy. All right, so I hope you were able to see how the hurdy-gurdy works, and it sounds very interesting, doesn't it? I'm not sure there's really anything else that sounds quite like the hurdy-gurdy. And what's interesting is if you've ever watched The Polar Express, the man that's on top of the train, the homeless man, he has a hurdy-gurdy. So the next time you watch The Polar Express, you can be like, hey, that's a hurdy-gurdy. I know what that is. So that's the hurdy-gurdy. And I just like saying hurdy-gurdy. All right, so the next instrument is the Irish flute, and it's very similar to some other instruments that we've studied before, and it has lots of holes for you to cover with your fingers, and they're usually made out of wood, older flutes. Now, when we get to studying some of the other instruments, you'll see that the flute that I have is made of metal. So modern or newer flutes are made out of metal. They're not usually made out of wood like these are. But this one is a traditional wood or bamboo flute that they use in Ireland. So we're going to watch a little bit of this guy playing, just a little bit. All right, so that is a traditional Irish flute. Isn't it beautiful? It's just soft and calm and soothing. I like it. And you're going to hear a lot of flute when we do some river dance. All right, so we need a brain break. We need to stand up. We need to get our wiggles out. We've been sitting. We've been learning a whole lot, and I really like this song. So go ahead and stand up. 'Cause I ain't the stars tonight. So watch me bring the fire, set the night light. Shoes on, get up in the morning, cup of milk, let's rock and roll. Kink out, kick the drum, rolling on like a rolling stone. Sing song when I'm walking home, jump up to the top of the brown. Ding dong, call me on my phone, nice tea, and I'll get my beat. All right, that was way too much fun. Go ahead and have a seat. Breathe in through your nose, out through your mouth. In through your nose, out through your mouth. And when we're breathing, we're not trying to be silly or goofy or that's not the point, guys. We want to calm our heart rates. If you're an athlete, this is an amazing thing for you to do. If you're a football player, basketball player, if you can control your heart rate, then you can control how well you respond to things. You want to have a calm heart. So we want to breathe in through our nose and out through our mouth so that we have a slow, steady heartbeat of da-dum, da-dum, da-dum. Very good. All right, so we're going to learn about river dance, which is a show, and it uses traditional Irish music and kind of like tap dancing that is called river dance. It's a little different than tap dancing just because of the way they like do some ballet things where they're on their toes, but it's super cool, and it does use their feet, and tap dance uses feet like drums. So you'll hear a lot of tapping and drum stuff. Okay, and this is what our composer Bill Whelan is known for. He composed this music, so he's the one who made river dance happen. So that's pretty cool. All right, so, and if you've seen this before, that's totally okay because it's super popular. All right, so I don't know about you, but I wanted to get up and dance alongside of them, and that is not happening for me, but I hope maybe you got to do some moves. So that's river dance. So if anybody ever asks you, well, hey, what's river dance? You can say, oh, they do that in Ireland, and it's got tap dancing. Did you see how they use their feet to basically play the drums? They made rhythms with their feet. It's just like tap dancing, but a little bit different. So now, oops. Sorry, now you should know what river dancing is. We were gonna take a little mini field trip to Ireland and do some Irish jigging, but I'm not sure we're gonna have time. So if we have time, I'll come back. But I want us to look at the fiddle real quick. All right, the fiddle is the same thing as the violin. There's a funny joke that you probably won't get, but the difference between a fiddle and a violin is one is played with strings and the other is played with strangs. What does that mean? It just means it's how you say it. It's a fiddle or a violin. It's the same instrument. It's just played differently. Fiddles are usually called a fiddle, okay? Violins are called fiddles when you're doing country music or bluegrass. That's why I said strings with a twang. I said strings, okay? Violins are usually used in classical music or orchestra, okay? So a fiddle is the same thing as a violin. It's just how you play it. So if you play it as a fiddle, then it's going to be used in folk music like Irish music or country music, okay? And it's made up of wood and it has steel strings and a bow. You use the bow to go across the strings back and forth. So we're going to watch these two Irish fiddle players, and they're pretty cool because they're like battling on the stage with their instrument, not their hands. That's what's neat. You can use music to battle. Let me skip just a little bit. I'm sorry, guys, because I don't want to run out of time. All right, so I'm guessing that now you want to river dance and play the fiddle, and if that's not true, maybe that's just only true for me, but I thought that was so awesome. I wish I could play the fiddle and they were dancing, or river dance. So that's the fiddle, which is the same thing as the violin. We just call it something different. All right, so I got to wrap it up here. There's so much to do. You should be able to say your learning targets today. You should be able to say, hey, I can recall our information about our composer of the week, Bill Whelan. I can explain the sound of traditional instruments. We learned about Hurdy Gurdy, the Irish flute, and the fiddle. And you can identify those instruments. You know what they look like and sound like now. You can keep a steady beat and follow along to our dance moves we learned today. You can sing our Irish song with the correct diction. We learned 1, 2, 3, me mother caught a flea. I did not get to do the story. It's like I knew that was going to happen, but it will be posted on our book of the week on our It's Learning page if you'd like to go and listen to that. All right, all you have to do this week is answer the question at the end of the learning path, and you are good to go. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me, and I hope you have a wonderful week.